Good morning. Today we are going to deal with the key cognitive process, problem solving. In problem solving, we are going to deal with the nature, the states of problem solving, the various stages and the factors or difficulties influencing problem solving. Whenever we want to reach a certain goal, if that goal is not readily available, then one has to use problem solving, right. You have to reach a particular point and it is not possible, there is a conflict, there is a difficulty or difference, then you have to use problem solving. Right, I use the word problem solving, but first of all let me ask you, what is a problem?
A hindrance.
A hindrance, very good. Anything else?
Conflict.
Very good, excellent. Yeah. Any conflict, difference or hindrance between one situation and another situation we wish to produce. What is that particular situation that we wish to produce? After all, it is our goal, nothing but our goal. So, conflict or difference between these two is after all nothing but problem. And a problem characterizes a situation when a person wants to move on from a given situation or state to a goal state without a direct way of reaching it. When you are not left with any smooth or direct way to reach your goal state, then it means that you are in a problem state. Then you have to solve that problem. Now, there are three aspects for any problem for that matter. Problem involves situations in which something is blocking the successful completion of a task. That now you have understood, right. Now, what are these three aspects of a problem? First is the original state, the problem situation, that you need to understand first of all. What is my problem? Right now, I do not have the transport. Even if I have transport, I do not know where it is located. Even if I know the location, my friend is not available. My friend is available, but still my teacher has not reached that place. Right? This is the problem situation, the original state. Now, the second is the goal state, exactly where you have to reach. Now, you have reached the goal state, you have reached that place, of course, your teacher is also there along with your friend and you have already started your program, that is your goal state. How did you reach your goal state? You need to understand exactly the rules behind reaching that particular goal state from the original state. Now, problems are of two types. First, simple problems. Immediately you got an auto, okay. Your vehicle has broken, so you got an auto, right. Simple problem. Simple problems are those in which a situation can be retrieved from memory in no time, okay. In fact, it is there. If not this, probably I need to take another vehicle or an auto or I have to call my friend, whatever be it. But there are another type of problems as well, that are complex problems. Complex problems here, they need complex procedures and unique strategies to solve these problems. They need unique strategies which are typical, specific strategies, right. Now, what are these strategies for problem solving? The very first strategy is algorithms. They are generally like procedures or rules that guarantee a solution, generally mechanical solutions. Can you have solutions, I mean all the problems, do you think will have the same kind of solutions, algorithmic solutions? Definitely not. Right. For example, some mechanical and all that, you can just find solutions by following algorithmic strategy, but all problems you cannot find solutions in this way if you follow this strategy. So, the other one is heuristic. heuristic strategy, they are of course shortcuts of thumb that often lead to quick solutions, right. Now, mostly based on our past experiences only. For example, let me give you a word, a scramble, let us say, just write it down, T-R-E-I-G-I-H, what is this? A scramble word. Well, you can just consider any shortcut.
Right.
Yeah, it is right. Very simple rule of thumb, right? What you have to follow is very simple here. So, this is heuristic strategy. What is it? Heuristic strategy. Next, another strategy, mean end analysis. Now, this finds solutions of problems with well defined initial state and goal state, and it is termed as means end analysis. Here, the problem is divided into many sub-problems. The problem is divided into many sub-problems. Now, reaching here, you call your friend, right, college for example, or you know the ways, at least you know more than 3 ways, but if you follow that particular way from bridge or whatever, right, then you are going to reach that place quite early. So, you have to think about how you are going to reach that particular solution which is closer to the desired goal, right. That is called as mean end analysis. So, it reduces or eliminates the differences between the original state and the goal state, because you are dividing that particular problem into various sub goals, right. Either you call your friend, or you take another auto, or you call your friend that I am going to wait at this particular place, please come and pick me up, right. These are the various solutions, of course sub goals where you are trying to develop, right. So, this is called as means end analysis. Now, the other one is backward search. To find a solution, the problem solver starts at the goal state and works backward to the given situation. If you have to clean the floor, what will you do? First, you need to have the mop. Before that, you need to have buckets and buckets of water, maybe soap as well, detergents as well, right? Now, you start mopping the floor. Once it is done with, then you have to clear the floor of all these things. Then you will come to the initial state. So, where are you starting here?
At the goal.
At the goal state, and then you are going backward to the initial state. So, that is why it is termed as backward search, right. So, you are starting at the goal state and then reaching back to
The
initial state, right. This is the most important strategies where we tend to use, right. So far we have discussed about the various strategies, but what are the stages of these problem solving? What are they? There are 4 stages to begin with. First is understanding the problem, second is devising a plan, third is carrying out that plan, and fourth is of course monitoring, looking back, analyzing, revising your plan whether you have done the right thing or not. Now, here while understanding the problem, once you understand the basic activities, it determines the nature of the problem. First of all, you need to understand your problem, exactly what the problem is. That is what is understanding the nature of the problem, and then understanding the information that is available, right. Whatever information that is available to you, you need to first of all understand exactly is it there or not, and then understanding the, what could be the other one, I am asking you. With all these sources, information, you have to reach somewhere, right. So, what is that? Yes,
the goal.
Goal. You need to first of all understand exactly what is that solution which is required for you. Understood? So, you need to first of all understand the nature of the problem, information that is available and exactly the goal states which is required to reach. You need to understand all this. And determining solely on your particular memory, oh, I know everything. If you have that kind of attitude, I know it all. If you are going to just depend on your memory, LTM, then it is going to definitely lead to errors here, right. So, you should not really cover yourself like whatever information that I have, it is more than enough, definitely not. You should always go for new solutions as well, is not it. Now, next is devising a plan. Understood the problem, fine. So, now you have to devise a plan to reach that particular goal state or solution. Of course, the plan should be based on your past experience, no doubt about it. Cues from your LTM, that is long term memory, and of course, it should be based on your new action plans, of course, that is highly creative. If you are imaginative and creative, then you are going to follow some new action plans as well. You may lead to success or failure, that is not the problem here, but you should be ready to take up some new solution, new action plan. That is what is after all devising a plan. Third one is carrying out that plan. Now, plan can be based on a plan retrieved from your LTM, past experiences or new plan, fine. But the production system needs to have few steps to complete that plan. If it is going to be almost like say 30 steps in 2 days, right. So, many steps could be first of all time consuming, many steps again it is going to be error prone as well. So, one needs to have clear few steps based on which you can reach the goal state. Now, you have reached the goal state. Now, what do you think you need to do?
Evaluate the result.
Yeah, very good. You need to look back. You need to look back. You have to evaluate your results. Is it correct? Whatever plan that I have followed. And then you have to compare your solution with the encoded problem. That is the very first stage. Is there any difference between this and the first stage or not? If there is no difference, then you are still there only. Okay? You went around, and again you reach the same, near bridge, flyover. You are still in the encoded stage only. So, is it the goal state? Definitely not. So, you need to first of all evaluate your very execution of the plan. That auto fellow literally roamed around and dropped you at the same place. Okay? So, you need to evaluate your execution as well. Execution of what? Execution of plan, right. Now, naturally storing the cues in LTM, of course, that also enables you the production system. It enables your production system for future problems or whatever solutions, action plan that you have used to reach your goal state. Of course, if you keep these cues in your LTM, they are going to be useful for your future problem solving as well, right. Whatever plan that you have followed, that is how it should be understood. Is that clear? Yes. So, these are the various stages of problem solving. Now we know the strategies, we know the stages as well, but are we always end up in the goal state without any difficulty? Is it a smooth sail?
No.
No. Why? Because there are so many factors or difficulties that affect problem solving. What are they? First is mental set, rigidity, functional fixedness, well-defined and ill-defined problems, anxiety, attention span, incubation, and of course, brainstorming as well. Now, what is mental set? Any idea? Mental set? Set actually refers to a way of perceiving certain structure, a specific structure or situation. In fact, it can be also termed as perceptual set, right. How you are perceiving that particular situation, it is termed as perceptual set. Now, solving in one problem may lead the person to approach other problems also in the same way. They are almost tying themselves in the same kind of set. They are not able to generally understand the problem in any other way, right. They perceive that problem in only one particular set. Next is rigidity. Rigidity is, of course, it involves continuing to use response that worked in other situations. Now, functional fixedness, a special case of past experience getting in the way of effective problem solving is called as functional fixedness. Now, this functional fixedness, it always blocks your new ways. Okay? In fact, if when we are faced with new problems, right, you won't be able to, and which requires a novel and insightful solutions, but still you are fixed with the same kind of problem solving skills. In fact, let me tell you, mental set, rigidity and functional fixedness almost they one and the same. But of course, here rigidity, the same response, functional fixedness, past experience, mental set is like understanding, your perceptual set. But again, after all, all one and the same. Okay? It needs to be understood from different aspects, otherwise the same kind of fixedness in all the three factors. Now, well defined and ill defined problems. If you understand your problem and also the required goal state, then only you can say that the problem is well defined, otherwise it is ill defined. And the other one is anxiety. Why do you undergo anxiety? First of all, when you are solving a problem, when you are going through that particular phase. Lack of experience leads to some kind of failure maybe, right, because you keep trying your various ways of solutions or problem solving ways or skills, right. So, that leads to conflict, and again that leads to frustration, and your conflict or frustrations lead to anxiety, which has a negative effect on problem solving skills. That is what I mean to say, right. So, moderate anxiety, let me tell you, moderate anxiety, just like stress, moderate anxiety could motivate oneself to understand the problem well. In fact, it facilitates efficiency in dealing the problem, but anything more than optimum level, it will always become a problem, a difficulty in solving the problem, right. Now, next is attention span. It affects problem solving if we are able to pay attention to important information and ignore the rest, irrelevant information, right. It affects positively if you are able to attend to important information and ignore the rest. Otherwise, it can become a problem if you are not able to intelligently ignore unnecessary or irrelevant information. If you are paying attention to everything, then naturally it is going to be time consuming, highly time consuming, right. So, if you want to a better position while solving a problem, first of all you need to pay attention to only that particular information which is important and intelligently ignore the irrelevant information. Next is incubation. Incubation refers to increase in the likelihood of solving a problem which results from delaying and rest. Withdrawal of some particular like problem solving or solution due to lack of time, due to lack of solution, due to lack of skill. Mostly creative people imaginative people, after some time they just put it aside. They just want, of course unconsciously they might be working, because they still they are not able to get the solutions quickly, they just put it at rest. So, that particular problem naturally gets delayed while solving it. So, one needs to first of all understand these two aspects. What is that amount of time that we are really spending on that? Is it getting delayed? And if you are on that rest period, exactly what is that particular amount of time that you need to be in that particular rest period as well while solving it. The last factor, the most important, if you are in a group, for example. If you are in a group, you are not able to find a solution. So, what do you think you need to do?
Group discussion.
Group discussion, okay. So, that particular group, each individual should be encouraged to produce solutions if problems are involved in a group. That is what is brainstorming. So, brainstorming in fact can become one of the most important factor which can positively influence your problem solving skills. Otherwise, it can become the most damaging or destructive aspect of or factor towards problem solving, right. So, if a group has to produce as many good solutions as possible without any judgment by brainstorming, then the whole group should be involved in that particular aspect. Each individual has to put across their opinions, ideas, beliefs, whether novel or not novel, right. And it works effectively in two ways, these brainstorming sessions as well. Identifying the possible consequences of a particular action and then suggesting steps that might be followed to attain a particular goal. So, what are the factors? Let me know. First is mental set,
rigidity,
followed by rigidity,
functional fitness, well-defined and ill-defined, anxiety, attention span, incubation, brainstorming.
Very good. Now, what are the three states, aspects of problem? Yes,
The
goal state
and the rules.
Yes, one needs to understand the rules as well. And what are the various strategies that are used in problem solving?
Algorithms,
heuristic,
mean and
Scramble,
analysis and
need.
backward research.
Okay. What are the various stages involved in problem solving?
Understanding a
Understanding the
problem,
problem,
devise a
devising a
plan,
plan,
carry
carrying
out a
out the
plan and evaluate the result.
Yes, evaluating the results. So, this is about problem solving. Any doubts?
Ma'am, is brainstorming and functional fitness anyway related?
Yeah, in a group, in fact, there can be many people who are fixed with certain aspects or activities or problem solving skills, right. So, here in fact, when they are in the group, this particular habit that they have is going to be literally stormed against as well, right. Since they are fixed with certain functions, because the rest of the group is coming up with some novel ideas, so definitely they are going to change their fixedness as well. In fact, it really helps those persons specific, not only just as what you said as functional fixedness, even perceptual set and rigidity are also going to be influenced because of these brainstorming sessions, especially in team when they are working in group, the most important, right.